Travis Hunter, Kevin Coleman Jr., and Shedeur Sanders. 3 players that set new trends, brought a new profound swagger to the SWAC and HBCUs, creating change, doing something that takes a lot of courage to do. And in the history books, when we look back, and I'm talking about sports history, so don't overreact. But when you look at HBCU history, you're going to look and see a picture of these 3 players who made it popular and cool to go to a HBCU. And also, I will be chiming in on Southern. To all the Southern Jaguar fans, I want to say I apologize for not making enough videos, because that team right there is going to be a problem. They are going to be a problem. That scrimmage I saw, and shout out to all the live streams that had each HBCU game on, I was very impressed, and I'll chime in.
I think Trav, he been ducking.
He playing the slot. He don't want to come out to the outside. That's it.
He been ducking. I'm a receiver.
Yeah, he's a receiver. He don't play just inside. He play outside.
He don't want to come to the outside.
I know Trav's weakness, and y'all can't know it, but I know it.
Ain't no weakness.
Yeah.
Ain't no weakness.
I know your weakness.
He completed 1 pass in practice. That's it.
How fun is this for all y'all just to be here? And, you know, obviously the relationship here is really good.
It's fun because we're all kids. That's why it's
it's really fun. Trav feel like he the best corner, which I feel like I'm the best receiver. So me and him going each and every day, going against each other, making each other better, I feel like we're going to prepare each other for the next level. And when we go to the next level, we're going to be ready because we're working against each other each.
Go hands up. See you later.
right. H Friday, Z Stutter. Come on, ready?
I got him.
Let?
No.
What's good, everyone? This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace and blessings, peace and love to everyone that's listening. Make sure to like and share this video on all social media platforms. Man, I know it's not the spring game. I know it's a scrimmage, 7-on-7 scrimmage. But I like the athleticism. The team is faster. They have another year in this playbook. But I want to point out the importance of 3 players: Travis Hunter, Kevin Coleman Jr., and Shedeur Sanders. Listening to them speak, and you see the joy and you see the fun. And that's what it's all about. This season is so important for future recruiting. I know that Travis Hunter and Kevin Coleman are going to do their thing. And speaking of Kevin Coleman, he's got to be the best route runner, not only for Jackson State, but in the SWAC. It's not even close. And I knew this before he even stepped foot on campus. I'll go out on a limb. Kevin Coleman Jr. is the best route runner of all HBCUs right now. And you can look at his film. The reason why he wasn't a 5-star is because he was listed as a slot, which he is. And as you know, in recruiting rankings, if you're a slot receiver, you're not going to be a 5-star. You'll be a high 4-star, but you would never be a 5-star. They always do that. So technically, Kevin Coleman Jr. is a 5-star, but due to politics, he was labeled a 4-star. Every 5-star corner Kevin Coleman Jr. lined up against, he won a lot of battles. Just look at his film, especially against top-notch competition. Under Armour, Polynesian Bowl, you name it. He's dusted and disgusted each DB. And as for Travis Hunter, it looks like he didn't play because it was about 15 minutes that I got to see on Facebook. Shout out to the pregame show of the scrimmage. I'm not going to put any stock to what the team looked like or anything because it was just a scrimmage. It wasn't, and it was just 7-on-7. So I'm not going to overanalyze something like that. I'll just wait until the spring game in the 24th. But another thing I noticed when Travis Hunter spoke and he talked to Shedeur Sanders, you realize he said, "You only throw one pass on me in practice." And I'm not surprised. And what that tells you is that he's very sticky in coverage. Now, people have been telling me he's the real deal. His film exudes that. So there's no shock when I hear Travis Hunter, bragging. He's supposed to brag. He's the number one player in the country. I repeat, he's the number one player in the country. He's going to be playing both sides of the ball. And I cannot wait to see this defense on the field. You got Dejon Nugget Warren on one side, and you got Travis Hunter Jr. on the other side, and good luck. Because if you throw on Travis Hunter, his ball skills are so elite, he can pick it off and take it to the house. That's how good he is. And if you throw on Nugget, man, he's going to make you pay. And I believe Dejon Nugget Warren will be the best DB in the FCS when it's all said and done. Guaranteed. I'm that confident about that. And that's another video for a different day. But Shedeur Sanders, man, if you looked at that one clip that you just saw moments ago, that back shoulder throw, the corner route, the accuracy, the precision, and then you see the command in this huddle. You see the demeanor. You can tell he's been training with top-notch quarterback coaches. You can tell he's been training with Tom Brady and company. This is why they call him grown. Because at a young age, he carries himself as a CEO, as a boss, as a leader in charge. And I just think it's funny because when Shedeur Sanders, before he even stepped on the field, this young man was getting hated on so much that people were rooting for him to fail. You look at the message boards, you look at everything, and when he won Freshman of the Year of the FCS, and he put up great numbers. And don't forget, this is without a great online. If you're a Jackson State fan, listen to this. You should be so excited because if your offensive line is just adequate, they don't even have to be elite, just adequate, that's more yards. I guarantee you, that's 1,000 more yards if the offensive line is adequate. With Brett Bartolone, I can tell he wants to get the ball out quicker. The running game, the sets look different from what I saw. Now, I got to watch the spring game. So if your team doing drop 8, you might not want to do that all game. Because if the running game is picking up and they're getting these short outs, see, that's what Jackson State needed to do last year. If a team's doing drop 8 and they're afraid of the deep ball, try to be creative on the shorter routes. And a lot of these receivers can run out to the catch. You know, Trevontae Rucker, Malachi Wideman, who's elite. You add Quay Davis and the transfers that came in from PWI schools. Jordan Williams, Cameron Buckley, A&M transfer. They could run after the catch really well too. Shane Hooks, who looks like 10 times better than last year. It's not even close. That's all they have to do. But to the next subject. Southern, man. If you're a Southern Jaguar fan, you should be excited. Coach Eric Dooley has transformed this offense. We already knew that Southern had a great defensive line anchored by Jordan Lewis. And he's as good as advertised. And I expect him, not hope, I expect Jordan Lewis to be drafted in the 2023 draft next year. He's that good. There will be a lot of NFL scouts looking at him. But there's a JUCO transfer that impressed me. Brashawn McCray had a command of the huddle, very efficient, showed leadership. And I'm telling you this right now, Southern is going to be a lot better than what you think they are. This offense is quick pace. They get in and out of the huddle very quickly, so defenses are going to be tired. The receivers are athletic. You see that the wide receivers, they may not be a Malachi Wideman or the high-end receivers in the SWAC, but each receiver has good traits, good size, good speed. And Eric Dooley, what he's good at creating offensive plays with the personnel he has. Like I saw plays where it's up-tempo, but they added some spread shifts and some 12 personnel with 2 tight end sets. I like that. So far, out of all the teams I saw in spring, and I'm not going to count Jackson State because they didn't play their spring game yet, Southern looks like the most balanced team I saw. Again, I'm not counting Jackson State because they didn't play in the spring game yet. But Southern's very balanced. And Brashawn McCray, he's going to make noise this year. They're going to put up a lot of numbers on offense. They're going to be that team that's very balanced. They're not going to break themselves to beat Southern. You got to play them for 4 quarters. And the worst thing I did was not talk about Southern enough because I didn't get any information from them. But as everyone was talking about all the other SWAC schools, Southern just kept their heads down and kept working. And when I saw that spring game on YouTube, I was like, where did this come from? That they impressed me that much. Again, I mentioned that Southern has the D-line. We already know they have a good offensive line, even though they lost 2 really talented offensive linemen. But to see that product on the field like that, they're going to have something to say. And I'm going to make another video about Grambling because I've been so busy this past week that you can tell I haven't been making videos, and I'm getting back on track right now. I know we're talking about Southern, but on the next video on Grambling, I'm just going to but state the things they need, because Grambling is a team that they have the athletes, they have a defense. The quarterback position just needs to get straight away, and I won't judge their position until the fall. Once Hugh Jackson trains them more over the summer, we'll get to see the full product. He'll probably bring in a transfer quarterback. But yeah, that QB position, if you got one, it brings you a lot of wins. The most important position in football besides offensive lineman, besides DB and defensive lineman. But shout out to Shedeur, Kevin Coleman Jr., Travis Hunter, and also shout out to Southern. You have a very talented team. And I expect and I know the Southern Jaguar fans are going to pack out. Eric Dooley, brother, thank you for all you've done with Prairie View A&M. For those who know, that's my father's alma mater. And I hope you do a great job. And I know you're going to do a great job with Southern. This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace and blessings, and I'm out.